albeit non-standard ones. In any case, their dwellings had walls and corners, unlike number 5. His house does not have corners. This is the so-called silo or elevator, round room for grain storage rebuilt as a snug little home for a young family. As a creative person, the owner of the house, architect Christopher Kaiser, could not give preference to the standard housing format. So he designed a curved interior design made of wood and black steel insides. Underneath a simple external geometric form, there is beautiful and comfortable interior design. The steel walls of the silo, with a base diameter of 4.5 meters, accommodate a living room combined with a bedroom on the second floor. Outside, there is a patio. Christoph and his wife Shona are happy to tell how they invited 12 guests for Christmas and how much it took them to rebuild the old facility of the mid-50s. They added 10-inch insulation, custom-made doors and windows, and corrugated steel walls painted white. According to the architect, this color reflects the warmth of the sun and recalls the nature of historical American rural architecture.
Ahoy, friends.
Ahoy, everybody.
Number 6. Joe is a videographer and photographer. Kristen describes herself as a dentist with a gypsy soul. They call themselves a couple of crazy Canadians and travel around Australia and tell how they managed to rebuild a sprinkler into the ideal house on wheels. It's not just entertainment for the holiday period. In June 2016, they sold their house, quit their jobs, tied up some loose ends, and left Canada to go on a trip to the land of kangaroos. They had to endure many adventures before taking this decision, but it became the most insane and most importantly, endless decision. Because who knows when you'll be home if your house is always where you are. Having started a new life on wheels, they created a channel on YouTube and willingly share their experience with the rest of the world, revealing details of the genius organization of limited space and the technical intricacies of wagon adjustment. So if you want similar housing, watch their video guide.
Oh, they're kangaroos!
Congrats.
Oh, lovely!
Number 7. It seems that Australia has a unique... One of the slogans of the Swedish company IKEA urges to think boldly. However, it would rather seem that they are far from bold thinking when all their proposals for interior design are limited to the principles of comfort and practicality. The heroes of our next video are not afraid to make bold decisions. They build houses on the water, or even take them on the road with them. With that said, check out our top 8 smallest and the most comfortable houses.
Hello, so if you're new to my channel, my name's Emma.
Number 1. Emma was born in Australia. She studies in Japan and lives in an 8 square meter room. When telling her followers about her home via her YouTube channel, she constantly hits the walls with both hands. At the same time, she manages to show everything: her living room, kitchen, loft bedroom, elaborate bathroom, garden, and balcony with a dismantled bicycle, as well as various cute things such as a bunny her friend sewed for her and jars in the kitchen cupboard containing some tasty Japanese goodies. Everything is arranged so logically that Emma even manages to find a place not only for work or cooking, but also for dancing and doing yoga and pull-ups with a horizontal bar. You've heard it right. There is a horizontal bar in her apartment. The only downside is that when her friends come over, they can only sit on the floor, or they can sit on the balcony by her bicycle.
Yeah, nice.
2. Emma admits that she feels very comfortable living alone, but our next hero shares a narrow space with the whole family. When starting the construction of a large country house, the head of the family, Victor from Belarus, thought that he spent too much time and money on a temporary rented flat. That's when he came up with this idea to build a compact house on the plot, in which 3 people and a dog will be able to limp along before the main house is ready. However, limping along is not the right word. Despite its modest exterior, there is everything that is necessary for life inside the micro house. Taking the project of a German architect as a basis and adapting it to the needs of the family, Victor fit in several vertical levels in the space of 16 squares and nearly 4 meters in height, as a result of which the bedroom was placed above the living room and the living room above the storeroom. The kitchen is in this midst, and there is a spirit of adventure and creativity. And our next story is also connected with this country. On a farm near Melbourne, there is a universal, eco-friendly house built by photographer and musician Steve Aaron. He began with the purchase of a trailer measuring 5 by 10 meters. on which he installed steel hoops of 2.5 meters in diameter and then upholstered its carcass with wooden planks, which, by the way, required only sanding and varnishing to create a genuinely stylish object. The planks were made of various types of Australian wood, which is why Aaron called his house the Unity Wagon. The system of curtains developed by him on both sides of the van allows permitting as much light through as the inhabitant needs. Within a few months, Steve managed to create the most comfortable residence on minimum floor space, making it surprisingly functional. There is a small stove for heating the room and cooking food, as well as a ceramic water dispenser. Round holes on the wall, like the window, are lighted with small lanterns, which work on solar energy. Number 8. Film decorator, singer, and insanely charming dog and a school bus converted into a house in the cosmic landscapes of Alaska. What a great cocktail to create one of the most colorful of documentary films of recent years. Felix and Selena together came up with the idea to leave Berlin and their normal existence, in which they could not pass up the opportunity to buy an old school bus being sold in the US. A month later, these people were already flying to America with only some tools and shooting equipment as baggage. Lack of experience and inevitable mistakes in the process of remodeling did not prevent Felix and his girlfriend from putting the finishing touches on the ideal interior design of the bright yellow bus. Every detail of their new home was in place. Every centimeter was used to the maximum, and the interior features were transformed in one easy motion. And then everything was ready for a trip along the route of Alaska, Mexico. They have seen wolves and a grizzly bear just a few meters from their new home, enjoyed the view of glaciers and deserts, climbed to the top of mountains and descended deep in the veins of the earth. All of this thanks to the energy of their home that they managed to take with them. And bravery, of course. So if you lack it, think twice before leaving the comfort zone. But one thing can be said for sure, there are no small apartments, there are only poorly organized spaces. And if you lack space, it means you own a lot of unnecessary items. Even room for some semblance of a study. The thickness of insulation and the air conditioning allow to live there all year round, and even severe frost doesn't cause trouble for the residents. As soon as the main house is ready and the micro house is no longer required, Victor plans to use it as a guest house or an extended study, and maybe even rent it out, quickly recouping all the construction cost. Number 3. Imagine waking up in your bed early in the morning and seeing Miami outside the window. After a few days, there is Atlanta outside the window. And after a few weeks more, let's say you see New York. How is this possible? You think this is a kind of transgression, like in Harry Potter. But it's simpler than that. 2 years ago, Jenna and Gualame, a young couple from Los Angeles, sold everything they had, quit their jobs in Hollywood, and devoted all their time to turning their long-cherished dream into a reality, i.e., to build a house on wheels, drive across the country, and engage in travel journalism. It took them a year and more than 1,000 hours of painstaking work to make this dream come true. The result was incredible, a real wooden house driving from state to state. A few square meters are enough to feel happy, to work, get enough sleep in a spacious bedroom on the second floor, have guests come over, and even invite them to stay over for a night, while enjoying the view from the roof or taking a shower after a long journey on the highway, simultaneously saving the family budget. Number 4. If you can build a house that can drive across the country, then there should not be any serious obstacles to taming the water element. Bonnie, a young architect from Canada, and her friend Dennis undertook this bold idea. Using 5 pontoons as a foundation, they built an adorable floating house with a tiny mansard and an open deck on the roof. Its living space is only 23 meters, but it has all the premises necessary for a comfortable living. Bonnie and Dennis are very hospitable. They are ready to provide you accommodation for a couple of nights if you happen to find yourself somewhere near the Canadian city of Chelsea in the province of Quebec. You don't have to wait until summer to visit this place. You can rent the River Den, the house's name, on Airbnb at any time of the year. The creators ensured the effective thermal insulation of the walls and installed double-glazed windows. In the winter season, the house can be heated by an antique stove. Number 5. All our previous heroes had houses,